He's Bobby Moynihan, the actor, comedian. Hi, Bill.
Hey,
Hi, Bob.
Bobby. I'm Bill Burr, too.
Hi, Bobby. Bobby plays Alex in the new comedy Sisters, which hits theaters this Friday on December 18th with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Correct.
How different is it with a movie with these two as opposed to Saturday Night Live?
It's a lot longer. You get a lot longer time. We don't have to get on TV at 11:30.
But as far as the process goes, when you guys are, doing skits.
Well, I mean, like on the show, there's not a lot of room for improvising. We're set on cue cards and everything's timed out to the second because of commercial breaks and everything. But when you're in a house that you can destroy for a couple months, you just sit there and improvise until the cows come home. Yeah.
When you guys have skits, how often do lawyers have to look at skits?
Lawyers?
Yeah, just to see if the standards in practice.
Pretty much every week, I assume. We're a naughty bunch, if you will.
But do you push the envelope just to see if you can?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, there's a wonderful, nice woman named Betsy who I'm sure does not like us because every week we write crazy stuff that she has to, go through everything. Everything's looked at. Every name you use, every. I've gotten in trouble with that. I've used a couple of my friends' names in sketches and things like that, or maybe people who weren't my friends. And they check everything.
But how often? Have you ever had something that was cut where you go, that would have killed?
Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know if it would have. I think in my mind I thought of would have killed, but it's best that it went to the wayside. Yeah.
when you guys see Saturday Night Live guest host, when do you know somebody is good? Is there a certain point in the week? Yeah, I
mean, sure. It depends. It's different every time. Everyone's different. Ryan Gosling was somebody recently who just showed up and nicest guy in the world, and he's got that Disney background. He was in the Mickey Mouse Club and stuff, so he's got that Disney discipline, and he showed up and just knocked it out of the park. He was just a great guy all week, and it's whoever's most game to go, whatever you want me to do. I always say, if you're going to host the show, just give up. Just let us take over because that's always the best.
The goal is to crack them up?
No, the goal is to put on a good show. But
okay, but when you see, because Gosling lost it a little
that
bit.
One, yeah, well, that one, Mikey Day and Streeter Seidel, two of the writers for SNL, wrote that with Kate, and all week long we were cracking up. That was one in particular since I've been on the show where, from the first read through at the table up until the show, there was not a version of it where we didn't start cracking up. It got us for some reason. It was just so funny. Kate McKinnon's a machine. She's a comedy robot.
The last time you had a musical act where you couldn't wait to see them?
Wow. Probably this week coming up. Probably Bruce Springsteen. Oh, yeah. I can't wait. That's going to be...
Now, can you be a fanboy?
I am a total fanboy.
But how much of a fanboy can you be? That's almost like a skit.
I wrote this thing this week about a bunch of kids with Star Wars toys. The Star Wars toys for kids, but the adults who are the real ones who are playing with them. And I may or may not have brought a lot of the props from my own home. I actually I'm wearing a Star Wars t-shirt.
You got a Star Wars t-shirt?
Because I'm in a suit like a grown man, and I have a Star Wars t-shirt.
Yeah, look at you with a suit on.
Yeah, I know. It's from my mom.
I almost didn't recognize you when you walked in. I was like, who's that?
I got to make my mom. I got to make her happy. Make her look nice on TV.
Kitten, are you going to include Springsteen in a skit?
I hope so, yeah. If he's down, I would love to. That's always, whenever you have someone like that, it's always fun. We kind of hear early in the week, this person might want to do a sketch, or if you want to write them in, do this, or this person can sing, or they have, whatever. So I think I've heard Bruce Springsteen can spring. He can sing.
He can sing.
He can spring also.
Hence the name, Springsteen.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, I think he'll be down.
But you had Chris Farley with Paul McCartney with the skit, which is legendary.
I think that's a Lorne thing. I think that's Lorne calls and it's like, Paul, you do it. And and then he does it.
Everybody does Lorne Michaels, it seems
It's hard not to. I'm going to get fired for that, probably.
Do you do it in front of him?
I did it once. We have a host dinner every Tuesday where we some of the cast members and the host will all go out to dinner with Lauren every Tuesday, and I never drank at them. I think I maybe had a glass of wine that night, and he asked me something about my first season, and I was like, yeah, you came up to me and you were like, Bobby, why don't you? And everyone's face turned, and I looked right at him, and he went, it happens.
If we walk down the street, what will you get in New York?
Punched. No, I'm just kidding.
Is there a skit character line?
How so? Just
somebody yelling out.
Yeah, every once in a while. My first couple years on the show, I would walk down the street and everyone would just scream Snooky. But now it's like, yeah, now I get drunk uncle sometimes, or just straight up nerd. Or that might not even be for the show. Yeah, no, I was walking here today. It's nice. People in New York just kind of go like, hey, and they just go, exactly. Hey, and walk. It's not that bad.
How proud of you are you of Snooki?
I'm super proud of her. She's doing so much better probably than all of us. She's like a bazillionaire. She's mom of the year. She looks great. I can't play her anymore because I'm 5 times her size now.
He's Bobby Moynihan. The new movie is Sisters, and it hits theaters this Friday, December 18th. Are you a love interest in this?
I don't know if that's the right word. No, I'm like the class clown kind of. The guy you don't want at the party.
Is
the guy who's doing
nudity?
A lot of bits. There was, but it ended up not getting in, I don't think. I don't know.
Who was nude?
I don't have pants on for most of the movie. Yeah, that was that's the truth.
Walk us through that. Walk us through that where you don't have pants on.
I go a little crazy at the party.
Are you nude?
No, kind of, but not really. No, there's no nudity from me. No one ever wants to see that.
Well, they didn't want to see Will Ferrell naked either.
Yeah, but he can pull it off. You go, at least he's funny. No.
How do you act drunk?
I've done it most of my life. I was never a big drinker.
But did you act like you were drinking at parties?
In this movie? No, not really. No, I was like in high school and stuff. I was like the designated driver. I don't think I had a drink until I was in college. I was like, I had like a big stupid minivan with a like rubber ducky on the front of it, and I would be the idiot that drove everyone around. But now, I really don't drink that much.
But you act like you're drinking.
I do, yeah, a lot. I drunk uncle, yeah. Never been drunk for it. I should try it once, probably, right? I don't know if I could do drunk uncle on live television. In this movie though, I do a lot of other things besides drinking in the movie. So I'm pretty much just a crazy person.
Play drunk here.
Well,
right now.
I go into drunk uncle whenever I do it now, and I start screwing my face up. This is a Dan Patrick show because everyone loves sports. I went to a football game once, and now I'm not allowed back in the stadium.
Are you a sports fan?
My father is quite possibly the biggest Giants fan in the world. I am also because of that. I'm not a huge sports fan. I watch SNL like still, but I'm diehard Giants fan because of my father.
But when you have athletes who come on.
Yeah, Eli, my father, I don't think he ever said, like, people would be like, what does your son do? And he's like, hey, he works. He works. And then Eli Manning hosted the show, and now they say, what does your son do? He's like, he knows Eli Manning. My dad came to the show once when Eli Manning came. Met him, asked him, he said, do you want me to sign your jersey? My dad was wearing a Manning jersey. He's like, do you want me to sign my jersey? He was like, no, it's a nice jersey.
Why ruin it?
Why would you write on this? Like, put it on a piece of paper. He was like, also, don't get hurt, because if you get hurt, that screws up my year. He just turned into dad mode immediately. He was like, you're good, but your brother's better. Like,
how tough is stand-up over Saturday Night Live?
I couldn't tell you. I don't do stand-up.
Nothing.
I did it for a little while, like right when I got out of college. I did stand-up for a little while, and I realized it's something I feel like if you want to get good at that, you do that, and that's it. You get good at stand-up, but I'd wanted to do other stuff. I don't think I was made for that life. But I did sketch comedy and improv at Upright Citizens Brigade for many years.
Is that where you met Amy?
Yeah, she was actually,
and Tina?
Yeah, Amy was like my boss for a little bit. She started the Upright Citizens Brigade. I started taking classes, and they hired me as a bartender for a little while. And I think that was like 6 months before Amy got SNL. And then I trained at UCB for many years, and I got SNL like 6 months before she left.
Do you have one audition and get the job?
No, I found out that they wanted me to audition. I worked on it for a while because I didn't want to screw it up. And then I went in and auditioned, and I thought I was going to get the show. I thought they were going to start me right away. And then the writer's strike happened. So I spent 9 months crying. And then I came back 9 months later, auditioned again, got it within a week. It was like a 14-month process.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was crazy.
The Danettes have a question here. Paulie, I'll start
They're
with
beautiful, by the way.
Bobby, when you're doing the dress rehearsal at SNL,
Yeah.
is it the crowd reaction that decides whether a bit may stay or a skit may stay, or is it the Lorne Michaels reaction, or both?
Often, I'm often the audience. If the audience doesn't like it, it differs. I say there are rules at SNL, but the rules change every week, and sometimes in the middle of the rule. If you're having a sketch that we kind of know, this might be a hit or this might be something good, but if the audience doesn't go for it and we still really believe in it, then we'll try it. Lauren's pretty good about trusting us, but if something goes on and just tanks, then it's like, yeah, we're not doing that.
But how crushing is it when you invest so much time and you think it's funny and then all of a sudden they go?
It used to be worse. It used to be soul crush. I mean, now, just this season for me has been wonderful because that part of it is kind of gone. I think I was waiting for that part to waiting to feel that part, but now it's all of a sudden happening where it's like, hey, we're cutting this down, we're cutting this sketch in half. That's a lot of stuff. It's like you work all week on something and then because of timing on the show, it'll just get cut in half. And that used to kill me. And now I'm like, great, sweet, yeah, cut it. Let's get out there and get it done quick.
McLovin?
Okay, I'm a big Star Wars fan like you, and I was talking about the original movie from the 70s, and I said, like in Star Wars, and one of the millennials I work with says, oh, you mean A New Hope? And I said, no, I mean Star Wars.
Yeah.
When I went to see it as a kid, it was Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now, they renamed it later Star Wars A New Hope. Do I have to call it that? As a Star Wars purist, what do you do?
I would say, yeah, it's canon.
I went to see, so the movie I saw.
Come on, man, step up.
So wait, the movie I saw was called Star Wars. It was on the poster,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't Star Wars. It was Star Wars: A New Hope.
Yeah, it is now. Well, you saw Star Wars, and now it's got a cool name. It's when someone gets married, they change their name.
I feel like
You
you're
gotta call
buying
them,
into
you
the
respect it.
It's the marketing, though. I'm buying into the Disney marketing.
No, it was that before Disney. It was that before Disney, right? Well, I'll fight you over
Don't
this.
badger the guest, McLovin. Come on. Yes, Eden.
But isn't when the letters start scrolling up in the very first Star Wars, the original one,
they
the
added
very
it in
first
later.
thing it says is A New Hope, right?
Yeah, but I don't think that wasn't in the original one. It didn't say A New Hope in the original one when it aired. They added that in later.
Bobby, can you believe Dan never saw Star Wars?
The original ones, I guess
None of them.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people like that. I mean, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. But,
Yeah,
no, I'm just
I don't blame you. I don't want to hang out with you. The New Hope.
You should see them. They're one of those things it's a part of the language now. So many people like it. You go,
But if
they're worth checking out.
What if J.J. Abrams called you up and said,
He actually has. He's wonderful. I've actually seen 15 minutes of the movie.
no, to put you in the movie though?
Oh,
How
I would
you
die.
feel?
I would die.
Would you cry?
Yeah, I would. I don't want to. I want to be like a monster or like a storm. I don't want to. I just want to be in it. I don't want to. I don't want you to see my face. I'll be I wouldn't be like a fat Jedi. I would just. I would rather be some sort of creature in the background.
Like an unathletic stormtrooper or something
Correct.
like
Yeah.
that.
Exactly.
Okay. The movie is Sisters with you play Alex.
Correct.
And it's in theaters this Friday with Amy Poehler and Tina Fey.
Yeah, the best.
Who makes you laugh harder?
Between
That almost
Tina
sounded
and
like
Amy?
James Lipton, didn't
Yeah,
it?
that was. You set that up well.
Who makes you
Who makes you
laugh?
laugh harder? Gosh, both. I mean, there's no. I think Maya Rudolph is one of the funniest women in the world. She's always been one of my favorites.
And one of the nicest people,
Yeah,
too.
just her brand, the silliest, dumbest thing in the world makes her laugh, and that's what gets me a lot too. But Amy and Tina are just brilliant. Tina is quite possibly one of the most brilliant comedians in the world, and Amy is just pure fun. She's pure joy, and there's no better performer than Amy. Everyone involved in that. John Cena's in it, and he crushed too. Everyone was a blast. It's always whenever you have SNL people around, we all speak the same language. So,
But no, one doesn't crack you up, make you laugh
more
harder?
than the other. I'm about to see them in a couple hours. I feel like I feel like I shouldn't answer. Amy, I've performed with Amy much more, but Tina's given me work on 30 Rock and stuff. So I'm gonna say both.
Yes, Seton.
So when you debut a new character on Saturday Night Live, like say Drunk Uncle,
Yeah.
do you get family members then looking at you sort of sideways, like you get together for the holidays and Uncle
Totally.
Fred is like, hey, that character's pretty funny there, huh?
My Uncle Mike, I have an Uncle Mike who's like, thanks a lot for that. But it's not him. It's kind of just me. It's kind of just me or my dad. I've used my dad for a lot of stuff. But yeah, I think the first time we did it, it was a very like fluke thing. I think I worked on like some other character that I thought was going to be amazing for like 2 days. I wrote some sketch, and then 5 o'clock in the morning, me and Colin Jost were like, we got to write an update. And he's like, I don't know, like a drunk uncle thing. Like, and then 10 minutes later, we're done. And then of course, that's the one I'm doing still a couple years later. The other character never made it on.
The movie is Sisters, hits theaters this Friday with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. Bobby Moynihan, thank you for stopping by,
Thank you so much for
Bobby.
having me.